Hello, good morning, and welcome to Train Source in Business. All right, good morning. Good morning once again. Welcome to Train to Hire, powered by Source in Business. Let me know if you can hear me. Yes. Let me know if you can hear me, Femi. All right. So now, good morning and welcome to Train to Hire, powered by SourceIN Business. This is an information session, and of course, we have some international immigration agency and lawyers and directors. I'll be talking to us today about special pathways for opportunities for tech professionals and entrepreneurs. Now, of course, this whole Nigerian thing, there's been the whole jackpot syndrome and everything. You cannot decide or leave the country without being armed, without being properly skilled. That's where Train to Hire comes in, all right? And so we're going to be talking about the different types of opportunities. What type of tech professionals does the UK want? What are the criteria? What do we need? Finances, every single thing that you need to know about this particular session, we'll be talking about to be answering all of your questions, because you know that if you were to go consult this opportunity for free. All right, now let's get into it. Train to Hire is a job placement initiative that helps you secure a job, upskill you, and secure a job. Now it gets very interesting because with Train to Hire, you're trained and then you are hired. They wouldn't just train you and leave you to go fend for yourself or go look for a job for yourself. No, they'll train you and help you secure a job. When they secure that job, then either you want to travel to the UK or you want to move with a family, whether you want to be in Nigeria but work for entrepreneurs, tech companies in UK, in the Western world, UK, America, the skill that you already have, you have upskilled and that you're better at what you do, such that you can also have opportunity to work at the back end of SourceIN Business. All right. Now, these are the opportunities and more that Train to Hire offers. Now, another very interesting about Train to Hire is the fact that they train you in specific tech skills. Now, so whatever tech skills it is that you're looking to get into, digital marketing, be it business analysis, data analysis, or data scientist, whatever it is you decide or you have decided to do, Train to Hire can do that for you. And it even gets more interesting because if you decide to say you want to get skills, you want to enroll, and then because you see a future for yourself in the UK, that's why we have our guest today who'll be talking to us about in a very seamless, less confusing way. All right, now, so I have with me here Mr. Barry John Howard. He is a successful entrepreneur. He's also a successful barrister, a businessman, public speaker, and trainer. He's also a lawyer, and also he is the director, a group legal director and lawyer at the UK Residency Group. I'm talking about Barry John Howard. Hello, good morning. You're welcome.
Thank you very much indeed, and Akaro, Nigeria, and all of the people around the globe that may be joining this presentation, which I know you are recording live and will be available post this session as well. I'd just like to introduce myself very briefly and thank Femi and yourself for the opportunity to speak.
All right, I like when you make an effort in trying to speak Yoruba and greet in Nigerian dialect. This is very interesting. All right, Mr. You get to introduce yourself later on, but we'll also be joined by other directors at the Harvard Law. Yes, we're joined by Nasir Hassan. He's a partner at the UK Residency Group. He is an entrepreneur, a business leader, and the international director for Harvard Law. We'll also be joined by another partner of Mr. Howard, Ray Meyer. He is a commercial and operation director of Harvard Law. He's also the MD of the UK Residency and an executive, of course, several other groups. They'll be joining us shortly. Now, I'm just going to go straight to Mr. Howard. You're welcome. Now, before we get into all of that, watching us from, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to share the link, ask your question. Listen, this session we have right here is a session for you to ask all of your questions. If you have any, if anything is confusing about relocating to the UK, I mean, the other day we got a report how a lot of Nigerians are stranded in the UK and, of course, in other Western world because of wrong information given to them by agents. These agents give them these wrong information, promising them good jobs, only for them to get there and they are stranded. Many of them can't come back home. Many of them are just wallowing away and just staying on the street, which is not the plan a lot of us have in relocating to the UK. So if you have any questions, if you want to ask anything at all, if relocating to the UK in the works for you, then go ahead, drop your questions, share the like, and let us get into the business. Mr. Howard, it's great to have you. Now, tell us exactly about the UK Residency Group. Tell us about that.
Certainly. Well, the UKR Group comprises of 4 companies. The UK Residency, so that's direct investment into the UK by many of your people that are joining who are entrepreneurs, business owners, high net worth individuals. So that's part of the group, getting people into the UK on 2 different business routes. So the purpose of today is to explain the 2 business routes into the UK. That's the UK expansion worker, global expansion worker, and also the Innovator Founder Visa. What I'm going to do first, after a brief introduction, is give a high-level overview of both programs, because your people watching may be in one category or in both categories, and there are different requirements for both of those programs. So I'm going to briefly give a high-level overview of both of those programs, and after I've done that, I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to ask any questions about either program. So I want to go through them one at a time and in turn. I'm helped by my fellow director, Mr. Rayhan Mia, who is the managing director of UK Residency, and I will involve him at the appropriate points to answer any specific questions if I think it's more appropriate for him to answer.
Thank you, Barry.
Now, I'll introduce myself.
I'm
a lawyer. I've been a barrister for 25 years, and I'm, as you said, the UK legal director. I'll ask Mr. Mia to introduce himself.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us on this wonderful Saturday. I'm currently speaking to you from
Mr.
Dubai.
Maya.
Are you able to hear me well?
Yes.
Fantastic. So I serve as the MD of UK Residency, the UKR Group. I serve on the board of many companies around the world, and I've been based in Dubai, UAE, for 6 years now. And I specialize in foreign direct investments and legal consultancy services, which simply means I help businesses and individuals achieve global mobility and go where they are treated best. I helped people all around the world, but I have a really, really soft spot for Nigeria, being the giant of Africa. My most recent visit to Nigeria was in March of 2022, where I stayed in BI.
Is there a particular reason why you have a soft spot for Nigeria?
Because Nigeria...
You have a soft spot for Nigerians.
Nigeria is a country with talent, okay? Nigeria is the most populous country of Africa. And if you truly understand the history, you'll see that there's a lot of potential in this country, and there's brain drain happening. What that means is the best doctors, the best lawyers, the best engineers, the best minds in America, UK, Canada, where are they from? they are from Nigeria. Because of lack of opportunity or challenges that they face, these brilliant minds are looking for other places that they can grow and evolve. And many of my clients and success stories have been from Nigeria. I have clients from all 36 states in Nigeria, and I take great pleasure in having a proven track record in helping individuals, families, and business owners from all around the world, but specifically Nigeria, in expanding and achieving the dreams, really. And I picked up a little bit of Yoruba in my time. So, Bawane, it's nice to meet you all. So I'll hand it back over to Mr. Barry.
Thank you very much, Ray. Briefly like to start, if I may, with the UK expansion visa. And picking up on what Ray said, I saw this morning on the news, Christine Lagarde, who used to be in charge of the International Monetary Fund, was talking about a global shortage of skills. Well, I know Femi and your organisation are doing great things to try and get people the skills so that they can move and be flexible around the world. I know many people will be joining from different places. Let me first talk about the first route to the United Kingdom for business owners. Post-Brexit and in 2022, April 2022, the UK government wanted to stimulate the economy. We're coming out of the pandemic. There was a huge lockdown which caused businesses to collapse and skill shortages across the UK as well as other countries. Now, the program that they launched was the UK Expansion Visa. Specifically, that allows for the direct foreign investment into the UK, into allowing a Nigerian company or any other company, parent company in another country, to open up or a branch or a subsidiary of that company in the UK. And it allows them to have a presence in the UK. And it allows employees to achieve residency, and then after residency, full citizenship. So I'd like to just briefly talk about the key features of the UK expansion visa so that there can then be questions and a self-evaluation by your individual viewers about whether they fit in that category or whether they fit in what I'm going to talk about next, which will be the UK Founder Visa. So let's begin with the UK expansion program. Firstly, the main applicant will be a expansion leader.
Please go ahead. Go ahead with that.
Yeah, so what you need is this application will allow them to open a branch office of the overseas parent company. It'll be a private limited company that we will open for them on our program in the UK, registered at Companies House. We'll secure them a virtual or physical office. So some businesses, like your entrepreneurs or your tech people, may not want a physical office, so they can have a virtual office. We'll establish that for them. We'll also produce a business plan for them that addresses the areas that the Home Office will want to see, and we will submit that business plan to the UK Home Office for approval. Then we will apply for their sponsorship license, which will enable them to sponsor themselves if they're the expansion leader, and they're up to 4 additional employees. This is a very important feature of this scheme. 4 additional employees, senior employees, who will go with the expansion leader. So that's a total of 5 people and their wife or partners and also their children. Now, the children, the dependents, the spouse or children under the age of 18, the children, will all receive UK residency, but will also receive free education and free healthcare. And then when they reach the age of 18, they will be entitled to the subsidised university schemes to do any degree that they may choose to do in the UK. So that's the sort of bare bones of it. They will also receive, and this is quite important as well, UK access to the financial markets. So they'll get the residence rates for mortgages, they'll get investments, loans, banking, and pension opportunities. And the initial residency permit is granted for up to 2 years, Thereafter, they will transfer into a visa settlement category, a 5-year settlement visa, under the same company that they've established in the UK, so no change in the company, and then they will be entitled to be apply for indefinite leave to remain. And as you can see, helpfully, Femi has listed some of the advantages that you can read as I'm talking on the screen. So you can see what you will be entitled to. Now, what's important is in that second period, that 5-year period, they can get full citizenship. That means a full passport in the UK in year 6. The only requirement in that 5-year block of time is that they must remain in the UK for 180 days for each year of the 5-year period. And that's non-consecutive, which means they can go in and out. So if they're in Nigeria, they can go in for a month, they can return back to their business in Nigeria or wherever they're applying from, whichever country their business is in. And then they can just got to trigger the 180 days each year to then be eligible in year 6 for the full passport, the full British residency. So that's briefly the overview of the UK expansion worker visa. So you can see it's enormously popular. A couple of things to mention. UK government are putting up immigration fees and visa fees substantially by the end of this year. So we're seeing an awful lot of interest in this global expansion program now. I'll talk a bit more about that later. I now want to turn to give a high-level overview of the UK Innovator Founder Visa, if I may. Now, this is the route number 2.
Before we move on to the UK
Yes.
Innovator Visa, Mr. Barry, Mr. Howard, before we move on to that, let's talk a bit about the UK Expansion Visa.
Sure.
Who are the tech professionals or the tech skills or the people who can qualify to participate in the UK Expansion Visa? Because you said it's pretty popular, but looking back here in Nigeria, a lot of people, I don't believe a lot of tech professionals or entrepreneurs have an idea that such a pathway exists in the first place. So who are the people that are eligible for the UK Expansion Visa? Are there specific skills that are much more that rate high on the
No, and the beauty of this program is it's much more wider and more open to everybody's skill set depending on their business. I'm going to invite Ray to talk a little bit about some of his clients that have gone through on this route, because obviously he's got first-hand knowledge of those individuals who are now living and working their businesses in the UK. And I'll then turn to your other question, which is more related to the next program, which I'm going to talk about in terms of ideas. Ray, would you like to pick up on that question, please?
Sure, thank you, Barry. So in regards to your question in specific about tech professionals and leaders in the field of technology, how would they fit into this category? We have to look at the individuals themselves. Do they have an eligible business? All right. So this program is designed for existing businesses which are established in Nigeria, tech companies, any business to be honest, but if they have a tech business in Nigeria, which is active and trading and genuine, they can nominate an individual or up to 5 people from the parent company to go to the UK to establish that presence in the UK. So if you have an eligible tech business that meets the requirement, that's active, established, has a genuine turnover, has genuine financial statements, then you can send not only 1, but up to 5 people from that organization to the UK to establish that business. And the great thing about this program is there is no minimum investment criteria. All that you need to do is demonstrate that you have the means to expand and set up your branch office in the UK. So it's not just limited to tech professionals, but anybody who is either a senior executive, shareholder, director, owner, or senior member of a business in Nigeria, you can expand and go to the UK, not only with yourself, but with your dependents and 4 additional team members and their dependents as well. Do you have any other questions about this process?
I think the silence means no, you don't. So maybe I'll press on to the second program. Thank you very much indeed, Ray, for that elaboration and explanation. That's very helpful, I'm sure, to those watching. I want to turn now to the second program. Now, this program is very interesting. And again, I'm going to ask Ray at the end to comment on his specific case study that he has of a client that he's helped do this
Thank
scheme
you.
amongst others. So the Innovator Founder Visa is designed to attract high-level migrants, seasoned entrepreneurs and innovators come to the UK to open new or existing businesses which are innovative, viable and scalable. Remember those three words, everybody: innovative, viable and scalable. I'll explain those and we'll give the example of what we mean at the end when I talk about what's needed. What we do and what the entrepreneur will do, or maybe your tech people will want to do, is they will develop and create an innovative business idea that they can open in the United Kingdom. That business could be a new concept or a pre-existing business with an element of innovation. And we'll give some examples at the end of this. Your business will then be endorsed by the UK government through an endorsing body. Now, that endorsing body will mentor the individual business owner or entrepreneur. They will incubate and accelerate the business on this particular visa. This visa is very, very good because Innovator Founder offers a 3-year residency, which may lead to in year 3 and full passport in year 5. And I'll run through the requirements very briefly. You'll be able to practice your innovation in the UK as an entrepreneur. You can operate your business solely, or you can form a team of people. And this is quite important because many of your tech people and other business owners may well work with other shareholders, with other owners of the business. And under the Innovator Founder route, there's no investment at all. There used to be an investment requirement. There is, and at the moment, you can include up to three co-founders on a single application, subject to certain prerequisites. You'll be able to set up and operate your other business in the UK, and you'll be able to applicant full residency, and you'll get a biometric residence permit. Your dependents, so wife, spouse, partner, husband, will receive full UK residency, and your children, again, under the age of 18, will get the free education and free healthcare as if they are residents of the UK, which they clearly are. And also, once the dependents reach 18, they get the subsidised local UK higher education subsidised degree route. Also, if your dependents are over 18, and we've had one or two families who've moved on this, whose children are over 18, but those children are still financially dependent on the entrepreneur or the business owner, then those individuals may be able to qualify as well. And we've had people 21, I believe, and slightly older qualify because they were still financially dependent on their parents. You'll get free access to the healthcare, as I said, and also free education up to the age of 18. You also get access to all the financial markets, again, the free access to mortgages and financial services at residence rate, which is very important because if you're not a resident, you would pay a higher rate. In year 3 of this program, year 3, everybody, you will be eligible for permanent residency and settlement status, which is referred to again as indefinite leave to remain. And in year 5, subject to, again, that 180 days consecutively staying for that next period of time, 180 days per year, non-consecutively for the previous 5 years, with no more than 90 days outside of the country in that final 5th year, you will qualify for full citizenship of the United Kingdom. So that's the outline to that program. And now I'm going to ask Ray to explain to you a case study involving one or two of his clients successfully moved across to the UK with their family under the Innovator program. Ray. Is he there?
Thank you, Barry. Thank you for the overview. Are you able to hear me well?
Yes, perfectly.
All right, so I'll explain to you on a very high level. The UK Innovator Founder Visa was recently launched in April of 2023. It's replaced the previous category, which was called the UK Innovator and the UK Startup categories. The great thing about this program now is that prior, you had to demonstrate a 50,000 liquid minimum investment before you could apply. So they've lifted that criteria. And in addition to managing and operating your business, you could also do skilled work. All right. So those are amazing changes which they've introduced into the UK Innovative Founder category as well. Prior to April 2023, there were 63 endorsing bodies with varying levels of charges. The government did a great thing and reduced them down to 3 core endorsement bodies, which have a fixed fee charging structure, which is very, very affordable now. This program is designed for innovators, tech professionals, that anyone who has a criteria, a business which is innovative, viable, and scalable for the UK market. It can be a brand new concept that's never been done before, or it can be a solution to an existing problem. It doesn't have to be a new business. It can be an existing business, all right? I've helped many, many individuals and families from around the world achieve residency through this program, all right? One of the most recent case studies we have was one of our clients that had a business that specializes in freediving. We, as UK Residency, helped innovate that business through our excellent and highly qualified research and development and innovation team. We built a platform which is called MetaDive, which allows the use of technology, augmented reality, and VR to experience freediving in a supervised environment, with applications for police training to search in murky waters for bodies, equipment, vehicles. It can be used for educational facilities and many other facilities such as leisure, entertainment, etc. So that's one of our successful case studies. We've helped many clients from around the world, especially in Nigeria as well. There are lots of tech companies that are coming up that want to have an opportunity to be in the UK. And the UK Innovator Founder Visa is one of the best opportunities to do so, because you can have a team. 3 people and their families can form the same business, and they can go to the UK to execute the business. The initial residency is granted for a 3-year period. After 3 years, if you meet the business requirements, you can fast track indefinite leave to remain. Prior to the Russia-Ukraine crisis, you had to invest £5 million to get indefinite leave to remain in 3 years. Right now, if you have an eligible business, you can do so in 3 years. Do you have any questions?
Are there any questions?
If there's no questions, let me talk about why Nigerians in particular want to have an opportunity to do business overseas. We have to understand the pain points that people face to be able to advise them. Many of my clients from Nigeria have similar challenges that they face, one of them being foreign currency. As you will all know, the Naira is constantly fluctuating and depreciating against the dollar and other foreign currencies. And many people want to have access to a company or a vehicle outside of Nigeria so that they can generate foreign currency, hold foreign currency, and do business in foreign currency. That's one of the key motivations of why businesses and individuals want to have a business in the UK. The UK being one of the strongest economies in the world, one of the strongest currencies, the best educational facilities, and logistically, the UK falls in the same time zone as Nigeria. So if one was looking at going to America or Canada and you have business and family and other matters to attend to back home, you have to manage around the time zones, keeping up with the hours, and even traveling can become a challenge. But if you're in the UK, it's the same time zone. So 9 a.m. in the UK is 9 a.m. in Nigeria, give or take an hour during daylight savings time. So it makes managing your business and affairs from the UK much more efficient. And in addition to that, Nigerians value education. They are some of the most educated people I've met in my entire life. They've had more degrees, more qualifications than many other nationalities that I've met and done business with before. So education is held in the highest regard. By taking advantage of UK residency solutions, you have the opportunity to give your children some of the best education in the world. Barry himself being former governor of a top institution in the UK, having taught law for over 12 years to many, many Nigerian students of all different nationalities, we truly understand the value of education. And being a UK resident gives you the opportunity to give your children access to a better education and save cost by having access to subsidized university education. So there are some of the reasons and motivations why individuals, businesses, and professionals want to have access to the UK, along with other concerns as well. But those seem to be the top three reasons why my clients tend to want to have or look at opportunities to explore UK residency. Now, in addition to the UK expansion and the UK Innovator Founder Visa, which I believe we've explained very clearly, there are other opportunities designed for people who may not fit the requirements. What I tend to advise is many individuals who are up and coming have never actually visited the UK. So in order to build a more credible profile, they should consider getting a visit visa to the UK, attending some conferences. That's something that we can help them assist. And not only does it allow you to visit the UK, it allows you to build a strong profile. Because once you've entered the UK and returned, the UK government will recognize you as a credible candidate. And when you're applying for categories in the future, this will give you bonus points. In addition to that, there are other categories, such as the Global Talent Visa, designed for people of extraordinary talent who have achieved great things. However, after this call, I'm sure there will be a form provided for you. These things and categories have to be assessed on a case-by-case basis. There is no general overview of requirements. So I believe I've mentioned everything what I want to mention. Mr. Howard, anything else you want to add?
Yes, just like to echo what Ray has said about the visit visa. Visit visa to the UK can be for 6 months or for a longer period. And what's important, it's multiple entry in and out of the UK. Now, if you're a possible student thinking about university, or a family thinking about where you might live, visiting the UK first is essential. There are different house prices and real estate prices across the country. There are different schools and colleges and higher education universities that you need to maybe attend open or to attend career fairs or to assess a particular area, because obviously most people will move to the UK. When they do, they may rent initially, or they may already know where they're going to buy and where they want their children to go. What's important about your children, if you're bringing your children with you and they're under 18, is that the way the UK works is that where you live determines the school that your children can attend. So it's decided on the postcode of the area in which you live. So if you lived in a London borough, you would only be able to apply to schools within the area in which you live. If you lived in Manchester, which is where I'm from, then you would be allowed to apply in relation to the postcode where you are living. So choosing real estate, finding premises, working out where things are, trying out the transport systems, and trying out all the other things, including absorbing the culture. It's essential, in my view, that if you haven't visited the UK, that you build your profile and apply for the visit visa. However, many of you will have already been to the UK, may have family there already, and may have people that have studied there. I've taught many Nigerian law students who are now practicing in the UK, but also practicing back in Nigeria, and they are leading very successful careers. Many of them come to the UK for a higher education experience and graduate there, because when they return to Nigeria, it fast tracks and accelerates their careers. So they do extremely well when they return back, for example, to the legal system in Nigeria. Some, however, love it in the UK and remain and do extremely well in the UK as well. So those are the only things I wanted to add. And Femi, I'm sort of happy to open it up to general questions now. I don't think we can hear you. Any questions? I think there's some in the text. Let me have a look.
Sorry, can you hear me? Okay, are you there?
We're just opening it up to questions. How much does it cost at the present?
Yes, I was going to raise that, please.
You said, okay, Ray, you can pick up on that, Ray, if you would.
So with these types of applications, the costs are not something which is just black and white. There are variable factors that one has to bear in mind, and it's all calculated as per time, resources, and personnel required. So in order for us to provide with a case cost, we'd have to do an initial consultation, which usually Barry would charge £500 for every single member of this conference. We're offering a free initial case evaluation. After completing an initial case evaluation and assessing your business and looking at the probability of success for the criteria in which you're applying, we can then look at giving you an accurate budget that would be required to execute one of the programs.
Okay, thank you, Ray. That's a great answer, very detailed. Femi, are there any other answers from the audience? Any other questions, I should say, from the audience?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Barry. I'm trying to scroll through the comments to be able to see if we have more questions. But I think for a regular Nigerian, the most important question for them is to be able to understand what are the basic qualifications or criteria they need to be able to get it right. And of course, also they want to know the kind of preparation they need to have, because we know that by and large, at the end of the day, it's all about financial commitment, right? So they really want to have a clear picture of how much it might cost them, considering the two pathways. And I think the innovation pathway will be more interesting to tech professionals, for those who have skills in tech and probably work with startup, maybe in Nigeria, or maybe work remotely with startup in Europe. I will be considering moving to a more stable, economy ecosystem whereby they can be able to work effectively, give their children, their family a better future, right? Better education and all of that. So for me, I think we might need more information. So I'm just trying to go through the comment to see if there are questions around that. Because trust me, so many tech professionals would like to work in a stable, environment like the UK.
Yeah.
So if we can speak more to that cost implication for me.
If you can go onto LinkedIn and pull up my LinkedIn and scroll down and look at the recommendations, maybe that's something that you might want to share on your screen so people can have a look. I've got public recommendations. Go into my LinkedIn profile, get that up on the screen and show. You can see public recommendations from clients which I've done business and delivered for. So if you can get that up on your screen, that'd be fantastic. And to the matter of costs, what we have to understand here is there are several associated costs. There are legal fees, there are government fees, there are health surcharge fees, there are endorsing fees. If I were to give a budget in the back of someone's mind to execute a UK Innovator program, one could be looking to spend or invest up to £22,000. Some applicants could be spending more. Some applicants could be investing as little as £12,000 or as much as £100,000. It depends on the business, the nature of the application, what's involved. There are many, many variable costs, and it's all assessed on a case-by-case basis. But on average, each successful candidate invests around £22,500 to execute a program like this.
I should also add, thank you, Ray. I should also add that the whole of the UK residency team will be listening to this presentation, and they will be able to answer specific individual inquiries post this session. We've provided a link to you, Femi, and I know you've shared it, and then the individual consultant here will call them back. Ray has said, one size does not fit all. That's important. Every case and on its size, there's so many variables. So we can take that further post this session. And there's a question.
Nice. Yes. What if I don't want to work? That would probably, Mr. Howard, do you want to respond to that
yes,
question?
Okay. Product designer, is it possible to start a UK company in the UK? Well, yes, absolutely possible. No problem at all. But we again need to go through and evaluate the individual client. So I guess this person, I think it's Valentina, if I'm reading correctly, Odu, would contact us on the form, and one of my staff, will contact you, and we will evaluate your claim on a one-to-one basis. Any other questions, please? Femi, any other questions? Yes. Due to the cultural and professional diversity, could you share some insights on building a professional network and establishing connections with the UK tech industry? This is a very good one for Ray. I'm going to ask Ray to pick up on this one. Ray?
Sorry, Mr. Howard, you had cut out. So due to cultural and professional diversity, could you share some insights on building professional network and establishing connections within the tech industry? Good question. People buy from people at the end of the day. And it does not matter whether you are black, white, brown, yellow. It does not matter. What matters is about you, your credibility, and most importantly, your confidence. If you do not believe in yourself and the product which you are providing, nobody's going to want to do business or believe in you. So you have to make sure that you are very well dressed, very well educated about your specific field, and that you have the confidence to be able to talk to people, because nobody's going to come talk to you unless you're willing to engage and make your brand and presence known. The UK is a multicultural environment and the opportunities are there. However, you have to make yourself known and make a brand for yourself. So that's what I would say. What do you think, Barry?
I agree, and I would for joining specific organizations in the UK over the opportunity that for us to each other across the globe. What's that, the process itself? What we're asking, if it's the scheme, it again depends, but it ranges from 4 to 6 months on average to complete the process, because what will happen first, there will be a due diligence, a KYC check, and then we will collect all the documents from you and then start structuring your case either for a business plan submission under the UK expansion or for an endorsing body application to endorse your innovative idea, which will be innovative, scalable, and viable. So again,
Mr. Osato, you know how long it's going to take. We've engaged before, so you know this. So guys, if you're watching this and you've already engaged with us, you know how long this process takes.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, Femi, can you see any more in the group? In your experience, what specific industries or sectors are actively seeking tech talent from Nigeria? That's a good question. I'm going to again direct that at Ray.
So what industries are seeking tech talent from Nigeria? Well, very good question. The UK has a critical shortage of skilled workers post-Brexit. And it's not only tech professionals which are required. Professionals from all industries are required. But in the tech field, people involved with technology such as innovation, banking, software development, coding. These are all requirements, and the UK is always looking to get the best of minds into the UK. If you recently watched the film Oppenheimer, the US, what did they do? They got the best minds from Germany to help them build the atomic bomb. So the West is constantly looking for brilliant minds, because once they have the brilliant minds, they are open to giving the resources to help advance not only the people, but the country. So they're always looking for talent, from aeronautics to tech to medicine to pharmaceuticals, all fields. But since tech is booming now with the evolution of AI and other innovative concepts, all professionals are welcome.
Thank you, Ray. Are there any notable trends or areas of growth in the United Kingdom's tech industry that aspiring Nigerian professionals should be aware of? Well, you can follow on, Ray, with that one. It's a good question.
Well, as you know, post-COVID, the world has changed, and many businesses are now doing everything remotely. Outsourcing is becoming one of the most popular trends in growing industries. Outsourcing technology, outsourcing services, having external counsels. So the tech industry in the UK is being heavily invested to kind of eliminate human involvement, should we say. So everything's going more digitized. Banks are closing more and more. There's no requirement for physical banks. Myself being from just outside of Manchester, there used to be 5 banks in my town. Right now, there's none. Why? Everything is done online. So the trend is going more away from the conventional face-to-face, do the business, get the job done, to everything being streamlined, lean, and online. So that's where we're going. Everything is becoming digitized. And not just only in the UK. I think it's happening around the world. The UK just tends to be at the forefront.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? Okay, there doesn't appear to be anything. Tell me there.
It's been a good time, Mr. Barry. I think right now I can't seem to see any further questions. And I believe, even after the timeout, I believe more people are going to come around and be able to get some of these informations. And of course, we made the links available. You can be able to reach out to UK Residency, using the link at the bottom of the screen. So thank you so much, sir, for your time. I really do appreciate that. This will be a very good opportunity for tech professionals who are in Nigeria, even in West Africa, who are looking at more opportunity to either work remotely from Nigeria, from West Africa, or if there is a need for them to be able to, have a better environment. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, but also thank you to the audience for listening. Many of your people will look at the post session, you're going to publish it on YouTube. Also, I would say we've already received a number of inquiries online already, and our individual consultants,
fantastic,
one of those people straight away.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much. All right. And if there's any need for us to bring you back again, I want to believe that you will honor our invitation.
And the question that's just been posed helped move to Europe or just the UK. We can look at anybody's individual needs. We move people all over the world, including Europe, including countries, and with lots of other things. If you look at our group website, it will give you some idea and flavor about all the different things. But the session today was primarily focused on business owners, entrepreneurs, and individuals of high net worth moving business and their families to the UK. Thank you very much, both of you, for the opportunity to many of your people.
All right, so thank you, everyone. As I mentioned before, we specialize in global mobility opportunities, meaning that we take you wherever you feel you are treated best. whether that's in the UK, whether that's in Europe, whether that's in Dubai, whether that's in Shanghai. It doesn't matter. Wherever you want to go, we'll take you there as long as you tick all the boxes. So thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful time. It's been a pleasure to be speaking to one of you. I look forward to visiting you all in person. My next visit to Nigeria will be very, very soon. I thank God for having this blessed day to be speaking with you on Saturday. Take care. Find me on LinkedIn. Let's connect. And if you need to speak with us, use the centralized form, complete the form, and then you'll be contacted through official channels. All right?
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Please.
God bless. Have a wonderful day.
And you too. Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
All right. So thank you everyone for your time. This is a train to hire. The essence of this particular event today is because we continue to create more opportunities for tech professionals to ensure that not only do we provide the opportunity to work remotely from Nigeria, and be able to work in US, Canada, and UK, but also for those of us who aspire or desire to relocate to UK or any part of the world because of your business. We are in partnership with UK Residency, and even if you reach out to us directly, we can as well also help you to be able to have the help that you need. So by the grace of God, I think this same time next week Saturday, we get to meet again on this program. Thank you for your time. Thank you for showing up.